Instagram. Gen Z spends hours every day online, scrolling through posts, liking stories, sending reels, checking who viewed what, and somehow turning tiny interactions into entire emotional experiences. A friend liking your story can feel validating. Getting left on open can ruin your mood for hours. Seeing people hang out without you can make you feel isolated instantly. But at the same time, Instagram is one of the main ways that we stay connected now. For a lot of people my age and Gen Z, their friendships partially exist through social media like Instagram, with stories, posts, reposts, and comments. And that raises a bigger question. Is Instagram actually bringing Gen Z closer together, or is it quietly making people feel more isolated? In this video, I want to look at how Instagram positively and negatively affects Gen Z relationships, identity, communication, self-image, and why social media feels emotionally real even though it's happening through a screen. One reason Instagram matters so much is because it stopped being just a photo app a long time ago. Now it's basically part of everyday social life. A lot of friendships are maintained through sending posts, reels, or stories back and forth. And sometimes people don't even start conversations anymore. They just send a reel and somehow that counts as communication. And to be fair, at this point it kind of does count as communication. I discovered from researching from Pew Research Center, it showed social media is deeply integrated into how young people communicate and maintain relationships. For Gen Z especially, online interaction is no longer separate from real life, it's just part of real life. And there are actually positives to that. Instagram helps people stay connected with friends that they rarely see in person. That allows long-distance friendships to continue more easily. People can communicate instantly at almost any time. Sending someone a reel or a random post is basically another way of saying, "Hey, I thought about you today." And even though that sounds like a small thing, it really does matter. One of the main sociological ideas connected to this is symbolic interactionism. Basically, this theory argues that people create meaning through social interaction and symbols. And Instagram is entirely built on symbols. Likes, views, followers, story replies, blue checks, comments, even the kind of pictures that you post. All of these become social signals that people interpret emotionally. Research by Yang and Brown found that people carefully control how they present themselves on Instagram, and this affects how friendships develop online. And honestly, everyone knows this already without even thinking about it. People choose what version of themselves to be posted online. People crop pictures, use filters, delete photos, retake stories 20 times. Nobody posts the boring parts of life. And Instagram creates this weird environment where people are constantly performing versions of themselves for other people. And although it's not always fake, it's definitely curated. After a while, people start comparing their real lives to everyone else's highlight reel. Now, comparison, validation, and exclusion, that is where Instagram starts becoming emotionally complicated. Research by Sherlock and Wagstaff found that Instagram use is strongly connected to social comparison and emotional well-being. To be fair, comparison is basically built into the app itself. You open Instagram and instantly see people traveling, people partying, people in relationships, people getting attention, people looking perfect, people apparently living better lives than you, and some people have fluffy dogs. But even if logically, you know social media is curated, emotionally, it still affects you. One of the biggest things survey participants described was feeling excluded after seeing friends hang out without them. And that feeling can happen immediately. You can have the best day and then open up Instagram once and then suddenly feel lonely and depressed. The weird part about these emotions are that they can be triggered by tiny digital interactions. A story view, a post, a lack of replies, a lack of comments, pictures someone uploaded for 3 seconds, but psychologically, people still attach real emotions to those interactions. Maybe one of the strangest parts of social media is that it can make people feel socially surrounded and isolated at the same time. A study by Primack and colleagues found that heavier social media use was linked to higher feelings of perceived social isolation among young adults, which sounds backwards at first. How can people feel lonely while constantly interacting with others online? I think that part of that answer is that Instagram changes how people experience connection itself. Instead of fully participating socially, people often end up observing other people socially. Scrolling becomes passive, communication becomes shorter, and attention spans shrink. And eventually, people spend more time watching social interaction than actually experiencing it. Social media companies are also designed to keep attention for as long as possible. Infinite scrolling, algorithms, short-form content, constant notifications, everything is optimized to keep users emotionally engaged. And honestly, Gen Z grew up inside that system. But I also don't think that Instagram is purely negative. That's probably the most important thing I found while researching this project. A lot of people genuinely maintain important friendships through social media. People find communities online. People stay connected across long distances. And people express themselves creatively. For some people, social media can reduce loneliness instead of causing it. Research by Valkenburg and others even suggest that the real effects of social media depend heavily on how people use it. Positive interaction can strengthen relationships. Passive comparison tends to hurt mental health more. So the issue isn't really whether Instagram is good or bad. It's more that Instagram changes the way relationships work. And friendships now partially exist through screens. And identity is increasingly performed online. Validation becomes measurable and social interaction becomes public. So to conclude my project, I think that's why Instagram affects Gen Z relationships so deeply, because social media is no longer just technology people use sometimes. It's become part of how people experience identity, friendships, loneliness, attention, and connection itself. And even though most people recognize the negative effects, they continue to use it because the social interaction now depends on it. That's the contradiction at the center of social media. Instagram helps people feel connected, while sometimes making them feel more alone. And for Gen Z, that tension has basically become normal.